Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Donna. My channel is about transcending trauma, and right now I'm on a 100-day journey to finding self-worth, to reconnecting to my being. Because, after we live through trauma and abuse, we disconnect from ourselves, from our core beings. We end up kind of living out through subconscious patterns of behavior. A lot of them are self-protective mechanisms put in place at the moment of trauma, to protect ourselves, but they really aren't serving us in our everyday ongoing life. And we all have subconscious patterns, that we live from. We also all have our inner core, our inner being, which is, our God source, our piece of infinite love and light. And, we want to try to sort of move from these subconscious patterns of behavior and move into living from our core being, which is, living from purpose and joy and happiness. And of course, we all have, always normal as a human being to have a broad range of emotions. But, when we're living through our subconscious mind, we're living through kind of a fog, through kind of a sleep, not in awareness. And when we live through our core inner being, we're living through, just pure love and light and, just living life from the purpose that we were meant to live, the purpose that our being has. It's like the inner being is, the things that you really love, and doing those, not other things that have been programmed or that have been shamed into you, but doing things that your being really desires to do and really loves, like the hobbies and things that you've always loved and had and gave up because, you were shunned, or shamed, or you had to grow up, or you had to do this or that, or be this way or that way, even without abuse, we have like a lot of societal demands on our being. But if we live from our core inner being, we live with purpose and grace. And so anyways, on this journey, sorry, the computer is teetering. I have it set up somewhere that's very risque, and it just got windy. But anyway, so, I realized quickly I'm on day 20, and woohoo, 21 days to make a habit. Tomorrow will be 21 days, and I sort of had a huge epiphany, and, so right along the lines of that 21 days. And, I have so much to share still, and I think that, connecting to self should be something we make an effort at daily in all ways, We put effort into relationships, we put effort into work, we put effort into our children. Why not put effort into connecting to yourself and your relationship with yourself? I think, and especially people that suffer from abuse and trauma, I suffer from CPTSD, and, I'm sure I'm hoping I'll reach a lot of you that do also. When we suffer that, it comes with a whole slew of patterns of behaviors. And so I'm going to kind of talk about that today, but, I don't want those to run my life. But of course, they're imprinted on there. And it's like it actually does damage to the brain. It's like, like telling someone in a wheelchair, well, just get up and walk already, So like connecting to self is very hard after trauma and abuse. And the CPTSD comes with a lot of symptomology that, affects daily living. We isolate a lot. We people please for many, many reasons. We get emotionally dysregulated. We get overwhelmed. And one day I was going to do that today about the compulsions and about changing the stories and finding the actual because it may be hard to kind of change some of the patterning that's been instilled upon us, but if we could learn to relate to it differently, we may have a better chance. But anyways, I came up with something else today, and it's about, so I always wake up with words. It's weird. I'll have dreams and then I'll wake up. I woke up to the word safe and secure, I believe, to me, that's my inner being speaking to me, not that subconscious patterning, which sometimes can be a lot of faulty beliefs, especially when you've lived through trauma and abuse. You get a lot of things, programmed in there that are not so helpful thinking. Oh, that's what I was going to say, which comes along with the feeling worthless. I've quickly learned that it relates to feelings of shame. And so, well, I'll get into that right now. So, um, I've woken up to safe and secure. I've woken up to habeas corpus opus, magnum opus, very strange words. I have them written down somewhere, but I believe this, like my inner being, like speaking to me, like wake up from this fog, wake up from those subconscious patterns. Start living from purpose, start being you, the you want to be, without all the suppression from all of the shame that we all go through. Even like I said, even society as a whole shames us into certain behaviors and certain ways of being that we've been told we have to be. So anyways, trying to get comfortable. I'm squatting to get in the camera. And I gotta stay close, so if it starts to blow away, I can grab it. So I talked yesterday, I think it was, about the polarities and opposite ends of the spectrum. So, if someone's like deep in pride, you got to give them a little bit of guilt so they can self-reflect and be accountable and make change. When someone's feeling really guilty, you got to give them some pride. So I was thinking, well, God, I'm feeling deep feelings of shame. Like, what do I have to do to pull out of shame? You look at the polarity. What's the polarity to shame? Well, it's dignity. And ironically, it was one of the words I woke up to was dignity. I had a dream and I woke up to the word dignity, So what is dignity? It's honor and respect. So to pull out of the feelings of shame, I need to give myself dignity, honor, and respect. And so then I was thinking deeper, we all have different parts of us. We do. There's a part of us that's the lover, There's the part of us that's the parent when we become parents. There's the part of us that's the friend, So there's the part of us that does the suffering. And we all carry suffering, to different degrees, So there's the part of us that, takes the shit, and I was feeling it so deeply earlier on my walk, really just connecting with myself, was with doggy Gobi, who's not here right now because he'd be whining and chasing animals and being out of control. But anyway, so I was deeply connecting to self and feeling really deeply dignity for the part of me that lived through the abuse. Like, instead of shaming her for it, instead of being upset with her, like, I looked back at some of the cycles in life and thought, that is complete insanity. Like, the abuse cycle, it's just, and there's many reasons behind it, the subconscious mind and the hormones and the trauma bond. But, like, I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, it was so insane. Like, year after year after year of this repeating cycle of, being devalued, abused, traumatized, and then, love bombed, apologized to, and then, right back at it again, empty promises and over. But, I stayed in that cycle. I stayed in that pattern, and that pattern that, my inner being wants me to be released from. It's the chains that are binding you, so the suffering. So we all carry it. If we get deep into Christ consciousness and that'll be a whole nother segue, but we all carry a piece of the suffering. So, I was thinking, okay, so how do I connect to self? How do I feel feelings of worthiness? Is what part of me needs that dignity, that respect and honor, and that's the part of me that has suffered, And so I was kind of crying on my walk and just like really honoring her, and just like, instead of looking at her like, that was insane, what were you doing, blah, 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 and, even giving it logic, like, okay, it's part of the CPTSD, it's part of the trauma bond, blah, blah, blah. I just even set all that down and I just honored her and just gave her, like they'll talk about the inner child and like giving that inner child of yours, that piece of you that, was wounded in childhood, giving her that love and security and that emotional attachment, which is most likely why I chose an abusive partner, because of, trauma in childhood. but still there's the adult me that suffered, there's the adult me that suffered. So I just really honored her today and gave her the dignity and respect that and honor that she deserves, and I just let her know, like, thank you, because we're a different person in each moment, in this present moment, I'm no longer her. So, I'm looking back to her and letting her know how much I appreciate what she's lived through for me, and giving her honor and dignity and respect, for every blow to the head that she took, for every strangle, for every push, for every shove, for every moment of fear and terror that she lived in, for every time that she was devalued by anyone, for every time she was told that something she believed in wasn't right, or that she couldn't do that or shouldn't do that, for every time she was told she wasn't good enough, or wasn't intrinsically worthy. You know who you are if you watch this. You know, for every time she was told that she just wasn't valuable enough, that for every time she had stereotypes thrown at her, that she was either too old or, not from the right, through my dating life, I have experienced, pre-marriage even, I was not the right religion for someone that we were deeply in love with each other. I was not the right religion. There was another person that I came from, the wrong side of the tracks, like, devalued for things that, I shouldn't be devalued for. We all have our own expressions, and we should give dignity and respect and honor, Black Lives Matter. I'm half Middle Eastern, as a child. I'm 52. The movie stars were all blonde hair and blue eyes. I was meant to feel I wasn't pretty because I wasn't the same color as them. That, I didn't have the blonde hair and the blue eyes, so honoring her and giving her back her dignity, honoring and respecting her, the girl that was told she wasn't enough, the girl that was told she wasn't good enough, the girl that was told she was not lovable, the girl that was told that she wasn't pretty enough, that she was either too big or too small or just not right, the girl that was told she couldn't have this dream or that dream, or couldn't believe this or couldn't believe that. Just give that dignity to that part of you that did the suffering, so I honor you, Donna. I honor you, the part of you, Donna, that has suffered. I give you my respect. I give you respect and honor. You deserve to feel dignity, and I honor you. I honor that part of you, so do that for yourself too. It's just, I'm going to keep working on it today, and I maybe suggest going into meditation, which I'm going to do right now. I was going to share a meditation with you, but I think maybe it's easier if you just do that on your own, but maybe just meditate on that and just pull up that part of you, like do some deep breathing first to connect to your body, and then drop into your heart and call forward that part of you that has suffered, that part of you that has felt not enough, not good enough, the part of you that has felt shame, that you weren't enough somehow for whatever reason it is, and give her dignity, give her honor and respect. So that's it. I'm on that path to feeling worthy, and I'm honoring that past me that has suffered. And I'm sure that there'll be moments that I suffer again, and I will honor her every time. And, forgive her and honor her, give her what she needs. I was going to say too that, all those patterns of behavior, that's that part of me that suffered. That's the book that I'm writing, and I realized too, even that's another of those, like the inner being telling me. I came up with the name Becoming Uninvisible without even really knowing why I chose that name. And, give that part of her, like all those subconscious patterns are an unheard distress call. That's the part of me that suffered, that's asking to be heard, seen, and felt and loved. And I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to do that right now. So me, myself, and I are off to a dignity party, and pulling up the part of me that's suffering. I'm sorry I didn't finish. So do some deep breaths, drop into your body, drop into your heart, pull up the part of you that, sorry, the computer just pulled up a message, the part of you that has suffered and is hurting, and let them be seen and heard and felt, and tell them that you honor them and respect them. All right, day 20, peace out, peace out. Look at my arm. I hit my arms right now. I'm going to honor them. I'm going to honor them and love them. And when you see something you don't like about yourself, know that you can change it if you want to, but love it no matter what. Just love yourself as you are, because you're worthy, okay? Peace out.